Hey, what's up? So this is the first episode, still primitive. Normally there would be some like super high budget, like I'd probably spend like $50,000 and get like a really cool insert disc 3 starting out, but we're not doing that today because it's episode 1. So, but just know I have $50,000 for graphics. I don't. You can donate, which would be a really bad idea. Don't do that. But you can. So, yeah. Uh, yeah, so this is Insert Disc 3. This is a podcast of two white guys talking about video games and a bowl of Kellogg's because the third guy's a flake. I'm just kidding. Trace, we love you.
Two of us.
Yeah, that's so funny. But now he's set the standard, so that's his role on the show now. It's just like, oh, he made it.
Right?
He'll make it for every episode here on out, and every episode we're gonna be like, oh, so glad you could make it. Thanks.
That'll be great.
Thanks for showing up, dude. No, I think he's with his girlfriend's parents or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a good dude though. It's too bad.
Can't wait to finally meet him.
He's gonna get shit on. Yeah, so we're kind of doing a thing. This is literally nothing special. We're just I just want to talk about video games, and I noticed that I would hop into fucking Chris's Facebook messages or in his comment section and just be chatting video games, and I'm like, this is awesome. We should start a podcast.
Yeah.
said every white guy in their 30s ever.
Yeah, dude. It kind of was just like it kind of like whenever you told me that, I'm like, dude, if you're down, I'm down because I've been wanting to do that, but I've had nobody to do it with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So it's no specific thing. I figure we'll probably bring up a few bits of industry news or things that happened, and then we're gonna have a topic. So, Resident Evil, this month's topic.
Boy, do we have a lot to talk about for our first episode.
I've got a bunch of notes. First off, though, I want to talk about E3. It's done.
Finito. Just donezo.
The writing was on the wall, but I'm so fucking sad about it.
It's honestly, it's the end of an era, but I definitely like saw this coming like a mile away. Especially like after Nintendo, I found out Nintendo dropped. I was like, it's not happening. There's no way.
I know console wars and shit are so fucking lame, but I loved it. I loved being a Sony fanboy. I played the fuck out of my Xbox, but like I loved the like PS3, Xbox 360 era.
Yeah,
and they were always trying to one up each other.
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. I love being part of the. I think for the most part, a lot of the times the console wars is very stupid because a lot of the times the people that get into the arguments on it have nothing to back up what they're saying. So they're like, PlayStation's better than Xbox, and you're like, but why? And they're like, we have exclusives, and I'm like, okay. And then when Xbox nabs a new exclusive, they get all pissed off. There's downsides to each fan base. Xbox is toxic too, but and of course Nintendo's just a bunch of bootlickers, and it's me, I'm bootlickers.
Nintendo's just Japanese Disney.
It really is.
Like they go back far enough, like Nintendo was doing something with Nazis. Like
no, I mean there's
in the 40s it was like the Nazis were playing poker with Nintendo cards. Like
yeah, I mean they might as well. Yeah, I mean they've been around for since like the 1800s or late 1800s.
Yeah. I mean, no, Nintendo. But I miss like all of the fucking just a week long of hype.
Yeah, dude, I do too. It's fun
shit.
being in the social discourse for that kind of thing.
And like seeing all the people who are live tweeting it and streaming their reactions, and like even before that when you're just like having to find some like bootleg stream of it. E3 was it just and it fucking pisses me off because it was a bucket list item for me.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I know going sucks. I've heard from everybody. They're like, it's line simulator. It costs so much money to get into these conferences, whatever. But I'm
it's
like
like
I don't
AX.
care. Like it was a bucket list for me to be at a Sony conference and see hype shit get announced and be in that audience. And now I'm stuck. watching 20-minute fucking YouTube state of play directs, whatever.
Yeah, that's I think the fact that it was all consolidated at E3 just added more to the hype.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome, and I hate that it's
But
gone.
yeah, I do too. I mean, it was a bucket list item for me for sure. But honestly, like the more throughout the years went on, I'm like, man, I kind of want to go to PAX more.
Yeah, see now here's if E3 wants to stay alive, that's what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to pivot, open up to the public, which I think they had already, but
right.
like really focus on just being like an expo or a convention, and like hype up fucking indie developers. Like pivot over
Yeah.
and just be like, we are an indie developer showcase now. Like,
I mean, honestly, indie games have enough of a fan base to where I could work.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a AAA guy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
play. I play the fuck out of Vampire Survivors, but like that's about the only indie game like I really fuck with. But like,
Yeah,
but
my
now
indie game catalog is not too big. I like Cuphead and
Cuphead
like
was fucking cool.
Undertale's pretty cool, but like that's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a deep appreciation for both of those. Still never played them, but I will
Really?
fucking drop Megalovania in all my fucking DJ sets. Like,
Hell yeah.
that
Your
song's
Megalovania
stupid.
goes off every time. Are you kidding me?
It's so good. But yeah,
Yeah.
they should. I feel like that's what they should do. Just pivot and just do fucking indie shit. Why not? And fucking now, other news like good segue here. Unreal 5 shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen some of the videos of them showcasing what they're doing with their new engine. Dude, it's fucking
No, I don't think I
insane.
have.
It's like they're doing like facial capturing in real time without like the mocap shit. It's just like a
Really?
camera and it takes like they did one, it was this girl, she's on stage, she says like I don't know 3 or 4 lines and in fucking 45 seconds full 3D 4K render ray traced all that shit.
What the fuck?
And so I'm just like, you're talking about like, for me, I'm like, I play the only indie game I play is Vampire Survivors, and it's fucking little top down
Yeah.
2D one input. The indie devs are gonna start making AAA quality shit with Unreal.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
It's gonna be
Like,
insane.
I haven't seen anything about the Unreal 5 because I'm like, I play Nintendo games. I don't know what good graphics are.
It's fucking crazy. Like they do what was the other thing I saw them do was like procedurally generated like landscapes in seconds. They just like click a button and the whole landscape changes and they have
Holy
a
shit.
whole fucking new arena to go like play a fucking video game in. It's fucking insane. Like
Jeez.
and now I love it cuz to me it feels like it's like when DAWs started becoming like readily available and every fucking 13-year-old in their mom's basement was making music.
Yeah.
And you know a lot of people there's a lot of garbage music out there. But I'm like it's the golden age of music right now. Like
Yeah.
you dig deep enough on SoundCloud, you're going to find something with 4 plays that's like the craziest shit you've ever heard. And
Oh, yeah.
video games are going to be like that again.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
We're gonna have these teams of like 3 guys in a basement who put out some fucking AAA level banger. I think.
I
it's
mean, it
fucking
happened with
awesome.
Cuphead. Like you look at something most
Yeah.
indie games, and you look at Cuphead, and you're like, what the fuck?
Hand drawn.
You know what I mean? Hand drawn. Like, are
Fucking
you
what?
kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? They hand drew this shit.
It's
It's actually insane. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's dedication if I've ever
that
seen
was
it.
that was one of those like when that got announced at E3. Rip.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rest in peace.
that was like I remember seeing that and just being like, I'm not gonna play this game, but I am absolutely blown away. Like this is
Dude,
incredible.
I fucking love that game. I could literally like pull that game up right now and just start clearing through
Cup
it.
what was it like? It's like Cup Souls. It's fucking
Cup
hard.
Souls. Yeah, that's like the hardest game, one of the hardest games I've ever beaten, for
Jeez.
sure.
That's crazy. I would rage. I don't know though. I got through.
It's
I
not
got
that
through-
bad.
I got
It's
through
definitely
Bloodborne.
easier than like the Souls games, and you've played those.
Yeah, I played Bloodborne twice. One of my favorite games of all time. And I just recently played it, so
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening is like favorite game and you've played it twice in the last 8 years. Look, I picked it up last year. Okay,
No, that's fair.
last fall. Okay, so I played it twice through immediately, and a bunch of other shit's been coming out. So I went from Bloodborne to like Dead Space remake, you know. So
Hmm.
and then after Dead Space remake, I hopped back on Elden Ring, and that's what I've been playing.
And now it's well, now we've come to the topic at hand with the something else just came out.
Hey guys, just wanted to pop in and say thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. I don't have any sponsors or anything right now, so I'm going to sponsor the podcast myself. Hi, I'm Nick. I also go by Killscreen. I DJ. I make video edits. I just have a new one that released. It's a cyberpunk long-form DJ video edit, and it is on my YouTube, so go check that out. Also, go to killscreendj.threadless.com and buy some fucking shirts. We'll probably make some Insert Disc 3 merch here in the future, but right now you can go buy my shirts, and that'll be great. Appreciate you guys listening. This is episode 1, Insert Disc 3. Let's get back to the show. Alright, I guess we could talk about Resident Evil. Man, I've got a lot to say. I wrote down, I've got my phone here, luckily, to keep all my notes. I did a little bit of pulling up some talking points. I wanted to talk about all of
This
the
is
games.
going to be a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I want to talk about all the games, but I know we've titled this episode is RE4 the worst RE, so we will definitely get into that.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting conversation because you're like a veteran for Resident Evil, and I'm still. I think I haven't played Resident Evil for a year maybe, and I've played through several games, but I have not. I just got into it like maybe a year ago, if not longer.
Yeah, so you've played most of the modern ones because you did both remakes, 2 and 3. No, you played RE1 remake, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you've done all the remakes.
I've done all the remakes, yes. I do now I have like a modded PlayStation Classic, don't tell Sony. But they have but I have all of them on there, like all the originals on there.
Yeah.
And I just haven't got to them yet because I don't know if I can do the tank controls. But
yeah, but you
maybe.
played Code Veronica, right?
Yeah, I did, and it was a struggle, but I did like Code Veronica. I technically haven't beaten Code Veronica yet because my friend who got me into Resident Evil was like, just beat Claire's part, and I'll tell you what happens after that. You don't have to finish Chris's part.
Dude,
because it is so painful to watch you play this fucking game because you're so bad at it.
No,
I'm like,
that was
thank
me.
you.
That was me when I tuned in and was watching you play Resident Evil 5. You're like, I hate this game, and I didn't want to be a dick, but I'm like, yeah, because you suck at it.
I was really bad at that game.
I'm watching you just like hold the stick left, and I'm like, bro, there's a quick turn.
Dude, literally, yeah, I know, right? I don't know about this. I keep forgetting about the quick turn shit. But it's gonna be, dude, wait till you see me play Resident Evil. I'm so fucking bad at aiming. I don't know why. Like, I could be like a complete god in Call of Duty on console, but I can't aim in Resident Evil for shit. But anyway, yeah, Code Veronica, he just told me what happened because he was like, I really want you to, because my friend, he went on, he got a job being a DJ on a cruise ship, so he's gonna be gone for like a few months.
Yeah, what a job.
I know, right? It sounds dope, but I mean, I don't know. I think that would drive me crazy.
Dude, I hate the ocean. Scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah, but he was like, I want you to. He's like, I want to at least see you play Resident Evil 4 before I go on this job. And I'm like, okay. He's like, just fuck. He's like, fuck Chris's part. Just I'll tell you what happens if you want to know the lore or whatever, and if you want to play it on your own time, you can. And I'm like, okay, sure, because I played Resident Evil 4 in VR. Which is fantastic, by the way. I had so much fun playing that in VR.
I think I played like, I don't know, not a lot of it. I mean, it's cool. It's cool as shit.
It's weird because it is very Resident Evil 4, and it's weird because it's like you play all these VR games and all of them look incredible, and then this just looks like a VR Resident Evil 4 like with no updated graphics.
Yeah.
So it was a little weird, but honestly I did have a lot of fun with it.
That's when I knew they were remaking that game. I was like, that and Village. when they announced
Yeah.
Village, I have this in my notes. I was going to talk about that, but like when they announced Village, and I saw the trailer, and I was like, look at all these assets. I was like, they're fucking doing like there's a fucking village and a castle. Like they're
Yeah.
fucking duh.
It's just Resident Evil 4 2.
So what? So your first Resident Evil was
It was the RE2 remake.
Jesus. Yeah, you're new.
I am new.
Yeah. Okay.
But honestly, from what I heard when cuz I bought it cuz it was on sale and I'm like I've never played Resident Evil.
It's a
Let's
good
do
one.
it. And everybody was like, honestly, technically not supposed to start with that one, but it's not a bad one to start on.
Well, yeah, it's not because it's I don't know. The remake does a better job of tying it to the first game.
Yeah.
But like, it's not a direct sequel with the same characters, so you're good.
Right. And I enjoyed I still like to this day cuz I've played the remake of 3 as well. And
Yeah.
I mean, the remake of 3, the remake 3 is okay,
I
but
mean,
I literally finished it in 2 streams. I was like, God damn, that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I've never played this game before, and I beat it in 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had that down to 40, 50 minutes, something like that.
Jesus.
Like I could do it in under an hour. And I was just like when I was grinding for unlocks or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have that platinumed on PlayStation, and yeah, I was just down to just fucking running through it. I was like, okay, nightmare mode, gotta get it.
It was. I mean,
S
3
rank.
was. I don't think 3 was a bad game. It was just really short, and
Yeah, it was
honestly,
fucking great. It just wasn't $60 good.
no, absolutely not. I'm glad I bought mine secondhand after all of, and I didn't get it on release date because I feel bad for people that paid full price for that fucking game. But
They tried to justify that shit with resistance.
yeah, but
Garbage shit.
I also found Nemesis a lot more annoying to deal with than Mr. X. At least we had a dodge mechanic in that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That I wish that was in 2, but honestly, I even after all the ones I have played, I still think the 2 remake is my favorite.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like that. Just see, and like I don't know if you remember when they announced that they were making that. Like if you were really focused in on that, but that dude just stand. I fucking forget his name, but it's like one of the developers, and he's just standing in front of a TV with the Resident Evil 2 logo, and he just takes his shirt off, and he has an undershirt on that just says "We do it."
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I've
the
seen pictures of
hypest
that.
shit. I was just like, "We do it."
We do.
They doing it.
That's
yeah.
yeah. My brother-in-law was really excited about that because my brother-in-law loves Resident Evil,
and then that was in 2015, and then fucking nothing on the radar, totally radio silent. Everyone was like, it's fucking vaporware. Like they're not ever gonna release it, and then fucking E3.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Yeah, they came out with a fucking trailer for it, and then fucking they're like, all right, 9 months, it's out from today, and you're just like, how it should be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Announce you're making a game, and then reveal a trailer when you have the release date. That's all we need. No, so my first Resident Evil was RE1.
Nice.
So I picked that shit up day one. I was fucking 11 years old.
Okay.
So I was young, and then ever since then, this remake of RE4, the first Resident Evil game I haven't got to play on release date.
Really?
I was so mad about it. Yeah, I had that gig in Ohio.
Every single one, like all remakes, everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even the weird. What about stuff the weird shit?
Okay, there's a few there. Okay, well,
I could picture you in line ready to pick up Resident Evil Gaiden on Game Boy Color.
Oh no, I was
playing that on release
day. Yeah.
Were you actually?
Okay, yeah, like games like Orc, like Operation Raccoon City. I probably waited a little while to pick that up.
Or Umbrella Chronicles.
No, those I definitely picked up because I was, dude. It was the Wii era. Like I was getting anything I could on Wii. Like,
Dude, I feel that.
I
I
fucking
remember I
love it.
borrowed Resident Evil 4 on Wii from a friend at one point, but I was like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this game.
Yeah, that Wii version of Resident Evil 4 is goated. It's really
It
good.
is.
I
It's
loved it.
good. I don't know if I could put it over the VR version, man. The VR version is just way too precise for me. But
Yeah, I picked that shit up. I remember playing through it. So I'm 11 with a PlayStation, and I'm playing through RE1.
mhm.
My best friend at the time, Eric, who I grew up with, he's over at the house, and this is like early into like PlayStation One era. Before that, Nintendo kid, so we're all on carts. I mean, this is
Right.
first like real CD console,
hmm
uh, and not knowing better, like a week earlier, I had let a friend at in my middle school borrow my memory card,
hmm
which I'm not even thinking about because at the time I'm playing, fucking like I don't even remember Soviet Strike or like Area 51, whatever was fucking out, like games you didn't really need to save for.
Right, right.
And fucking I get 2 hours into Resident Evil, and it ended up being a fucking meme with my friend Eric and I for all through high school. We'd go stupid Lance. Because
Stupid plan.
Lance was the kid I let to borrow the memory card, because we're sitting there like scared as shit, and we're like, well, I don't want to go. If we die, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
it's so stupid, Lance.
Damn. So like what did you do? Did you just like try to power through it without dying or did you like
No, I left that shit on pause for like 3 days until I got my memory card back.
I feel like I've done that before because I remember when I got so my first console that needed a memory card was GameCube. Like my Nintendo 64 had like a couple games that needed it, but not really. But when I got my GameCube, I didn't get it with a memory card, or my parents didn't know. They bought it for me for like my
Yeah,
10th birthday or something like that. They didn't know,
it's like
and
it's a Nintendo.
yeah, they're like, it's Nintendo. Just plug it in, and you're good to go. And so they gave me, and it came with like Wind Waker, and I wish I still kept this because it's worth like a lot of money now, and I can't like put it in my collection again. But it was the Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time combo disc
Oh
box or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I was fucking hyped because at the time I fucking love. Well, I still love Zelda, um, but I remember I was like, oh, I can't save it. So I would just turn it off and just start all over again. And then I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I need a memory card too. I can't save the game. I just have to keep starting it over. And she's like, okay. And she went and got me one. Or I think actually my sister got it for me for my birthday. She got me a
You didn't
memory
have to
card.
get into the argument where your parents were like, well, the other one doesn't need it.
No, not really. I mean, they asked about it, but I was like, they're like, why don't you ask your sister to get you that for your birthday? I'm like, oh, okay, I'll ask her. My
Uh,
sister's a lot older than me, so she would get me like my own gifts or whatever.
right on. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I never gave my sister gifts. She didn't deserve one, but no, no. But yeah, that
but yeah, that was a whole thing too. Like memory cards. That's an era that's long gone, but I remember that like specifically.
yeah, and like OG Resident Evil, what I would call like the golden age is like
Yeah.
1 through Code Veronica.
Okay.
Like that's, and like I know that's a lot harder for like people who aren't playing in that era or
Yeah.
playing the Resident Evil games in that era to like go back to, because the tank controls are all fucky and shit, and there's no
Yeah.
it's hard. It's a hard game. Like old games were hard.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I
yeah,
played Dino Crisis when I was 11 because my friend like sold me his PlayStation 1 and I never had one and he had Dino Crisis with it. And I played it a lot actually. But that was another thing I never had a memory card for, so I never saved anything. So I would just try to beat Dino Crisis without dying.
in one run, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I know, because that game was also not very easy either, at least for me at the time.
Yeah, that those those games, Dino Crisis is in there. Uh, but like that was the era of like I don't know. Those games just hold a special place, and there could be some nostalgia here. Because after Code Veronica, that's when we get into Resident Evil 4, which is like the big topic at hand here today.
Right.
But
Right.
like those games were like, it's fucking crazy to see where this franchise came from, and when you look at like the original like ideas that Shinji Mikami had and where he was getting his inspiration, because a lot of people are like, George A. Romero and like zombie movies and stuff, and it was like this was originally first person, like RE1.
Yeah, that was. I mean, and also at the time, they didn't really have like survival horror wasn't really a thing.
No,
Like they
and
had like what probably Seventh Guest, and like that was the only thing they had
well,
back
yeah,
then.
and this was a follow up to Sweet Home, which was
Yeah, yeah, Sweet Home, which is like it
NES.
was a Famicom game, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a follow up to that, and then Shinji Mikami was like, okay, it's gonna be first person, and it's PS1 era, so it's not like a shooter. It's not like
Mhm.
RE7. It probably would have been like fucking Myst, like some boring ass shit.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, Myst is great for what it is, but
Mhm.
shit's boring. He had these inspirations for this game that weren't even like like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
was what he was like inspired by for Resident Evil. And
Okay.
I don't know how it ended up with zombies and stuff. And like, there's probably a lot of shit in that I'll say here that can be fact checked. I looked shit up before we did this podcast, and
Mhm.
I'd read an article and go, oh, that's interesting. So I didn't do like a lot of. It's not that kind of podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you
mean, it's just us talking
if you want to
shit.
hop
Like,
in the comment section and be like, that's not true, go for it. I'm ready to learn. But yeah, it's crazy to see those influences. 25 years later,
Mhm.
when he's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we need a guy with a fucking chainsaw, and we get that in what Resident Evil 4. 9 years after the first game.
Exactly.
They wanted to do first person. We get that in RE7, like, fucking 20 years after. It's just fucking crazy to see where all that came from. But
Yeah,
other.
I mean, it is like because I've watched like the whole ever since I started playing it. I kind of dove into more of the lore of it, and it's crazy to see that they were able to create their and like that kind of game did not exist at the time. You know what I mean? Because like if you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
back to that, like there really wasn't anything else like that. And anytime and that's for me, like with any genre of video games, like even thinking back to platforming games, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
crazy to go
yeah.
back and think like there's nothing that exists back then. But
Well, that and there
before I
was.
get off, before I get off topic,
No, no,
but yeah.
yeah, no, but you're right, because there's also the idea of like. So you're talking like 96, and so like most zombie
Hmm.
genre shit was like Romero, and it's just like when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth, and then like you get this Resident Evil, and I can't think of anything else before that that was like blended the like kind of sci-fi element
Hmm.
of like viruses and bioweapons and like government contracts and just like all this crazy shit with zombies, which I think is a huge reason that like I love the whole franchise. I'm a slut for this fucking franchise. But when it comes to like the direction it's taken ever since, like Code Veronica, I've just
Hmm.
kind of been like, eh. Because I miss that shit. Like this new fantasy angle that they go with and mind control and shit, and I'm like, man, what happened to the just a fucking virus, man?
Yeah, that was kind of like me when I was playing through Resident Evil 4 because like, when I was playing through that, I was kind of like, what the fuck is all this shit that's going on? It doesn't even seem like these people are zombies. They're just crazy.
Yeah, they remake does a really good job of retconning that shit.
Yeah.
Village kind of did too when they. I don't know. You haven't played Village yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Okay, okay. I don't want to spoil a bunch of shit for you, but like Village has a bunch of callbacks in and the notes and shit that you find. There's a bunch of callbacks to the origins of Resident Evil and like what's his name, Spencer, and those
Right,
guys and
right.
shit. So which is cool, and like an RE4 remake. Here's a little bit of spoiler, but like sorry, but and for anybody listening, but like they've retconned it to where Luis in this game, like he worked for Umbrella
Yeah.
as part of the Nemesis program,
Mhm.
which totally fucking makes sense because like Nemesis was like a smart tyrant, right? Like
Right,
Like,
but that wasn't ever in the original RE4, was it?
no, no,
Yeah, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't remember them ever mentioning that in the original game.
no. They that total retcon, and I fucking love that shit. Like
Yeah.
that's what I wanted with a remake. I wanted the rest of it to be a little more grounded as well.
Hmm.
Like I was like, oh, I want it to be like Resident Evil 2 remake. I want it to be fucking scary and slow and methodic, like which is
Yep.
not what we got. But like it's that's what I wanted, and then I also wanted the story to be more cohesive with the overall lore or whatever. And they've done that, and I'm
Yeah.
happy with it. But
Yeah. I mean, when I played it, or when I started playing the remake, I was like, this is Resident Evil 4. It
yeah,
was like, because at first I was like, I was really excited because like, oh, I loved the remake of Resident Evil 2, and it's same kind of graphics, all that. It should be fun. And then I'm like, wait a minute, it's Resident Evil 4. So this game is gonna kick my ass. And
yeah,
like
it's
even my friend told me yesterday, he was like it's recommended that you choose this difficulty if you've played the original.
oh
And he
fuck
was like,
that.
oh, and he was like, okay. And then he picked it, and he could not get past like the first horde.
Yeah, no, that's a fucking troll. Fuck Capcom.
Yeah.
No, I've played it. I haven't even touched hardcore yet. I just
Yeah.
today I finished my third playthrough of standard.
Right.
Mainly because I'm grinding. I'm just like I want to level up my weapons and shit. Like
Hmm.
whatever. And it's yeah, it's fucking RE4. It's suplexes and roundhouses and Leon and his stupid fucking one-liners.
Oh, I love it. I am such a sucker for Leon.
Fuck
He's
that.
really quickly became one of my favorite video game
You
characters in general.
watch Infinite Darkness. It'll just totally throw all that shit out the window. I was the same way. I was like, Leon is the shit.
Yeah.
And then I watched Infinite Darkness, and I was like, one, Infinite Darkness sucks. So, but all the CG movies are canon.
Yeah, I know. My friend told me that there was one I needed to watch after I finished three.
Yeah,
But
Infinite Darkness. It's like it's not really worth watching, but like basically at the end of it, it takes place between Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5,
okay.
and like Claire is there, like kind of I don't know, she does like nonprofit or she's like a journalist or something. She's just Claire. She's bad bitch. Love her.
Same.
And she's like, at the end of it, they have all this fucking information that they've gathered on Tricell and what
Hmm.
they're doing in Africa. And at the end of it, Claire's like, all right, we did it. We got out. We have all this information. Give it to me. I'll leak it to the press and we'll get the government to fucking stop this shit. And
Hmm.
Leon's like, nope. I'm a cop, baby. This is going to my boss. And
Oh
that
no,
was the minute I was like. Before that, it was ACAB except Leon S. Kennedy, and now it's like ACAB, especially that dick,
man.
because whole Resident Evil 5 doesn't happen if Leon just gives the shit to Claire.
Oh God, now that makes me hate him because I fucking hate that game. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hate
Okay,
RE5.
so yeah, I'm trying to follow my notes here, and
No, you're good. You're good.
we
That's
could
how
just
podcast works.
yeah
It's
we
never
gotta
it's never organized.
just rename it like rename insert tangent here.
Yeah,
That'll
pretty
be the
much.
new name. But yeah, I'm gonna skip over. I've got some notes here, but I'm gonna skip over RE4 through 6 because that'll go into the remake shit I want to talk about. But you have 7. Like 7 is where it came back, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we,
That's what I've
it
heard.
felt like I was like. At first I saw it and I was like, first person. I don't know. That's kind of fucked. Like that's not
That's a little
Resident
sus
Evil.
for Resident Evil. Yeah, that's.
But at
But
this,
don't they have a third person mode for 7 or no?
not for 7. No, I mean there's probably a mod for it.
There's one for 8, but not 7.
Yeah, I mean, here, and I'll get into that because Capcom are recidivists. They cannot. They're fucking addicted to trying to turn Resident Evil into Call of Duty, and it's like they go to Resident Evil 7, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's back." They've done it. They brought it back, and then Capcom's like, "Yep, yep, 2 weeks sober." Do you guys want an M4 with unlimited ammo? How about a roundhouse kick?
Oh no,
You guys want some action? Let's see if
no.
there's some. It's like they just, and that's what Village was like.
Oh
Cause
really?
seven,
Oh no.
seven was fucking amazing. It's slow. It's scary as fuck.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I've
like
heard. I've heard that that one's like actually
it
horrifying.
is. It's
Which,
fucking terrifying. Like I remember. Here's the thing: is like I remember now. I was a lot younger, but playing like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, like those games scared the shit out of me.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for the time, and it was scary. I very specifically remember in 2004, 2005, when Resident Evil 4 came out,
Hmm.
and I had my buddy Eric over because we were Resident Evil buddies, and another friend. And the night it came out, and we're playing it, and they fall asleep, and I just kept playing.
Yeah.
Never, and I remember having that moment of like, oh, this shit isn't scary at all. Like I was loving it. Like
Yeah.
and before I get into the hate of fucking Resident Evil 4, like I love Resident Evil 4. Like I love it.
Yeah.
But I just remember sitting there going, like this scary. It's not. It's fucking fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's not like you're not shitting your pants
Yeah.
constantly. And I want to, if I'm going to play a horror game, I want to shit my pants. And yes, Mail, you're right. It is time to remake my top 3 video game characters list because I'm about to boot Leon the fuck off of it.
Yeah,
If he's responsible for 5, fuck him.
That's why, and you see it all over the internet. ACAB except Leon Kennedy, and I'm like, you motherfuckers know Jill Valentine exists.
Yeah, true.
Like, if we're gonna
True.
ACAB accept, the list goes Animal Control and Jill Valentine.
Yeah.
That's the
Jill Valentine's great. I
like,
love her.
It's ACAB except Animal Control and Jill Valentine. It's like, yeah, it's they just and then after seven was scary again. 6 is a fucking shoot fest. We get back to 7, and this is why earlier when I was saying like Revelations is great is because that came out, I think, after 6.
See, I plan to play Revelations also, leading my way up to 7 and 8, because I've heard that I went to this chart, or my friend sent me this chart of like the best order to play the games in, and Revelations was listed on there, but I don't remember who, but somebody told me that I don't even technically have to play those to understand the
No,
plot.
they're no, you don't. They're total spin-offs. Like they're canon, but like you don't really have to play them. I think Revelations is before 5.
Is it?
If I remember right, and in canon order.
Oh, okay. Because I think they told me, or the list that I saw was after 6, but I could be wrong. Or that's when it was released. But they also told me to play Resident Evil 0 first.
Hold on, we're gonna look it up. Resident Evil chronological games.
Where does Gaiden fit in that one? I'm just kidding. I'm not buying that game. That game's too expensive.
Yeah, no, you can emulate that shit.
Yeah.
This is release date. How to play games in chronological order. Here we go. All right, so yeah, we know 0, Remake, 2, 3. We just want to see where. Okay, yeah, Revelations is between 4 and 5.
Is it? Oh, then I fucked up. I guess I need to play Revelations next. But
if you play any game where Jill isn't blonde, it's before 5.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm already slated to play 6 after I finish the remake of 4. So I might as well just go ahead and play 6 first, because technically Revelations came out after 6. But
yeah,
anyway,
you can play them in whatever fucking order. But like, Revelations was great because it was released after 6, and it was third person, still kind of, you're running around, you're shooting stuff, whatever. But it was scary again. Like Revelations is a lot more like Remake 2 than it is Resident Evil 6.
Ooh, okay, then that'll be a breath of fresh air when
Revelations,
I get to
that. Fucking great. Enemy design is kind of lacking in, diversity. Like all the enemies kind of look the same. But,
right.
Because it's a lot like RE7 with the molded. But like that game was great, and that was scary on 3DS.
Like, yeah, I can't believe that game originally just came out on 3DS.
Yeah, I think because 3DS had the attachment with the second thumbstick, and I
Yes.
believe it was either Revelation. No, I think it was Snake Eater. One of either Revelations or Snake Eater were the reason they came out with that.
I
Um,
think it was also for Luigi. No, never mind. I'm tripping. I think what the whole meme about it was that the best game to benefit from it would be Luigi's Mansion,
oh
but it didn't work with Luigi's Mansion apparently.
yeah, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, that
And
that was great because God, Revelation. When was Revelations released? I should have. I didn't do enough
when
research.
you said when was it released?
Yeah, because it would have
It
been
had to have been like
20,
2012 or 2013 or something like
2013.
that. Yeah, because that was like the heyday of the 3DS,
Yeah,
I
so
think.
we
Because
had.
like early 3DS was very lacking. Their launch
It
was
says
pretty lacking.
January 2012.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sounds about right.
that came out before Resident Evil 6.
Did it?
Yeah, because Resident Evil 6 was October.
I remember I had to deliver pizza to GameStop for the midnight release of Resident Evil 6. And I was like, what's being released? And they're like, Resident Evil 6. And I'm like, oh, cool. I've heard of Resident Evil. I never played it, but hope y'all enjoy it or whatever. And I left, and the next day, everybody's like, this is like the worst Resident Evil game ever.
It's not.
No.
It's fucking amazing.
It's
I'm
amazing.
gonna get into it. Just hold on.
Okay.
Because right now I got to talk about Village and where
Okay.
where Village like it's low on my list. Like, and I'll give that at the end of all this. My whole list of all the Resident Evil games and how I've ranked them. And Village is down there because it's just like it's like 4. It's like when 4 first released, and everybody loves Village, and they went into it and they were like, "This is gonna be fun. This is great. Kind of scary, not really." And I'm just sitting here going, "All right, we got 2 more games before we're playing fucking Doom." Like, look at this shit. Look at all these fucking guns. Look at all the shit we're doing. The scariest part of the game is 30 fucking minutes. The next scariest part is with the fucking goth mommy they marketed the game with. You get her for an hour and a half. And then the rest of the game is you fighting fucking Magneto.
See, I thought she was going to be like the Nemesis or Mr. X of this game.
She is for like fucking an hour.
Oh, really? So she doesn't just stalk you the whole game?
No. So what you got to do is get it on PC so you can get some mods and put her in some fucking sexy lingerie, and then you're like, okay, the game's worth it. Like, it's.
I mean, with as much as all these games go on sale, I might actually do that. No, go ahead.
It's just that's how it came like to me because I played through it once and I was like, yeah, Village was really good, and then like I sat on it for like 8 months. And then got into the grind fest of it and started playing it over and over. And then about your second playthrough, halfway through your second playthrough, your guns are getting upgraded real good, and you're like, I am the fucking Doomslayer. Like,
I mean, that in theory sounds cool because I fucking love Doom.
No, same. Like,
okay.
Doom.
But you don't want that in your Resident Evil game.
No, exactly.
You want to keep that separate from it.
Yeah, it's just like. It's not. It's fucking annoying, and then and then Village came out, and then they announced Resident Evil 4 remake, and so I guess we'll talk about that.
I mean I felt like that one was inevitable. I mean, we desperately need a Code Veronica remake, but with how popular Resident Evil 4 is, I mean, I kind of saw it coming.
Here's my thing with Capcom is, and everybody wants a Code Veronica remake.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to get one anytime soon.
Really?
I don't. I think because Capcom does some dumb shit for dumb reasons. And you know what I think Capcom wants? They want you to be able to put games on your shelf and have the same logo 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Village. They want it all nice and convenient before they ever go back. And we might get Code Veronica after they remake 6. But I think that's what I think they want, because all this shit is go play remake 2, play remake 3, play 7, play 8, Village 8, whatever, and then play remake 4. All the menus are the same, all the logos are the same. They want that cohesive, which gives me hope that they're also going to remake 1 and 0 and then eventually Code Veronica.
I yeah, okay, so that's one thing I did want to talk to you about is I think, in my honest opinion, the remake of the first Resident Evil is probably my second favorite. I think that that is a fantastic remake of a game, and it still
Yeah,
holds up even today.
it's the gold
Um,
standard for remakes.
it's yeah, it still holds up today. I don't give a fuck if it came out in the mid 2000s or whatever, whenever it came out.
Yeah, it's
I think that
gorgeous.
it still holds up. But I would I would fucking shit myself if we got a remake in the RE engine for the first one.
I think they absolutely should, and I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares if it's the third remake? It's like
Yeah.
that's why maybe I'm just giving myself false hope, but that's why I keep saying I'm like they want it all cohesive, they want it all similar. You know, 7 would that's why Village got the third person mode.
Hmm.
7 will still just be kind of the standout. But
Yeah.
like that way you can go into 8 third person. It's all the same. Like that's what they'd want. And I think that would be great. I think it would be fucking awesome to have 1 through 8 with Code Veronica all in the same style. Think about fucking marathon streams and shit. You're just
Oh, dude,
bam,
if they
bam,
did it with
bam.
everything, like even Revelations and
Yeah,
yeah, fuck yeah. You kidding me? I
it'd
think that would
be
be cool.
it'd be fucking rad. But they
That does sound fun, but at the same time, it's like we don't just want remakes. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean
I
they've got
like
to
we
keep.
definitely want more games or new games. I mean,
I want them to continue the main story.
yeah.
You know, I haven't played the fucking Rose DLC for Village yet.
Hmm.
Um, I'm I'm interested in it. I'll get it eventually. I don't know what to get it on because like I have Village on PS5, but all of my unlocks and shit are on PC because
Oh,
that's
okay.
where I played through it. I picked up Village on Black Friday deal for PS5, and I haven't played it on my PS5.
And just in the chat for me, they said got to play Village in VR. Um, I
Yeah,
don't have. If I could figure out a way to do it on my Oculus, I'm down. But I have an Oculus. I don't have like a PlayStation PSVR or whatever.
hold up.
You know.
I'll fucking Google this shit right now for you.
Okay. I would definitely play it in VR, but I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, man. I would be very scared and possibly horny if I played that in VR.
Because I'm pretty sure you can mod it.
I'm sure there's a
Are
way to. What?
you'd be playing on PC, right?
Um, yes, I'd have to play it on PC most likely. If I were to do it. I know there's a way to play your Steam games, your Steam VR games on your Oculus because I've played the LA Noir one, but I
Yeah.
haven't played Doom VFR yet. But it's a pain in the ass to set up, but I know there's a way to do it.
Yeah,
But I don't
I
know if
forget.
they have the VR version on Steam.
You tell me like that fucking Capcom. That cuz when they came out with Resident Evil 7,
Hmm.
it was PSVR day 1.
Oh yeah.
And they said it is PSVR timed exclusive for a
Hmm.
year. And so
Okay.
everybody who had a fucking Oculus or a Vive were like, okay, fuck it, we'll wait a year. And
Uh-huh.
then nothing. And they didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
why. I mean, they put Resident Evil 4 VR on Oculus. Like, I like Oculus because it lets me because I like not having to do a bunch of hookups and shit. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
personally,
Yeah, no,
I like to just turn it on and play it. You know what I mean?
I have a Quest 1, so I can't play Resident Evil 4 on it, but
Really?
yeah. No, it's yeah, Resident Evil 4 is Quest 2 exclusive.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not even on PSVR or Vive.
Oh,
It,
that's
yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
weird. It's not on PS5?
Nope. No, I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 4 VR is Quest 2 exclusive.
That's weird. But I don't fucking know. Capcom's weird.
Yeah, they're fucking liars, man. They said we're going back to horror.
I
They
mean,
didn't do they for one game. Yeah, all right, cool. We got Jack Baker That whole family, the most tragic fucking characters in all of Resident Evil. God, what a good fucking story. And
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, I'm going into it going, because I'm a fucking nostalgia bait fucker. I'm like, I want Jill Valentine, man. I want bring back Sheva, bring back Carlos, anybody. Who's this fucking Ethan dude? I hate him. And then I play through it and I'm like, this is one of the best Resident Evils they've ever made.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
these characters are fucking amazing. Like,
Yeah, it seems like I like it's every single person that I've talked to about Resident Evil and is seeing me go through all of the games like somewhat in chronological order, excluding like the originals, are like, wait till you get to 7. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, a lot of them consider 7 to be the best one.
Yeah,
And I'm like, the best one out of every single one of them. Okay.
man,
And I know there's a VR version. I would love to play that game in VR, but fuck, it would scare the piss out of me.
Man, I'll tell you right now, like, I'm not going to give away my whole list, but I've got my number 1 ranked is tied for 2 games, all right?
Mhm.
So RE7's at 4.
The RE7's at 4.
Yeah, of like my
For your
favorite.
favorites? Okay.
And honestly, yeah, fucking so good. So
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But like I don't know, they did. I want to talk about the RE4 remake. Like, I'm gonna save my ranking for the last, because now I can put RE4 remake on there.
Yeah.
But like, just to talk RE4. So now we're gonna get into the meat of this. So everybody who's been listening this long and they're like, God damn, I've been here an hour and you haven't even talked about how RE4 is the worst RE. Now
we're about to get into it now.
My shit, RE4 is a great fucking game. 2005 RE4, great fucking game. And I don't want anybody to misconstrue this and think I hate this game. I have the fucking Los Illuminados tattoo. Okay, like I have that and Umbrella. Like, bad guys galore, Resident Evil on my body forever. I fucking love this game. So that out of the way, in the realm of the Resident Evil franchise, and especially within the Resident Evil fandom, Resident Evil 4 fucking sucks. Okay, like, this game is fucking garbage, and it's like you have to look at it as a history of it over the next 3 games, because you get Resident Evil 5 and you get Resident Evil 6, and I think the fandom response to 4 got, first off, it was supposed to be exclusive.
Yeah. It was exclusive for like a month or some shit.
Yeah. So there's a whole story about, there's the Capcom 5, right? You know about this?
The Capcom 5.
So Nintendo,
you might have to remind me.
Nintendo struck a deal with Capcom to put out 5 GameCube exclusive games that were not going to be available ever on any other platform. And that was Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Remake, Killer 7, Piano 3, and Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know how that turned out.
Like, right. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 came out on PlayStation not very long after that.
Maybe was it Killer 7? I'm going to be wrong on that. Hold on.
I can't remember. I don't remember what the fuck was the other one you said? Piano 3?
PNO 3.
PNO 3. I thought you said Piano 3. I was like, what?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was Killer 7. Okay.
Okay.
Why did I think? Oh, it was. Okay. I was getting confused because it was Killer 7's a Suda 51 game, which we're totally doing an episode on Suda 51 at some point.
Okay. Man, hopefully I'll have to play some of them before we get on that, because
play all of them. Play dude, play Shadows of the Damned. It's an 8-hour dick joke. It's so fucking funny.
Did Suda 51 do No More Heroes?
Yeah, he did No More Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadows of the Damned, Killer 7.
I have all 3 No More Heroes, actually. I just haven't really played them yet.
Oh, yeah, we should. Okay. I don't want to get off on a tangent on that.
No, you're good. You're
so
good. That's my homework.
That was the Capcom 5, and then like 6 months later, a year later, like something about how Capcom had part of their contract was their games had to sell so much, or the contract was null and void, and the games didn't sell well enough on the GameCube, so they were like, okay, fuck you, we're putting Resident Evil 4 on PS2 and PC and literally every fucking console known to man. So like Resident Evil 4 is everywhere. It ends up everywhere. And it's funny, not to say it's funny after you say it's funny, but I just say,
you're good.
like, to me it's funny that if you go back to the original GameCube, it is so bare bones. Like, you get the story in Mercenaries and that's it.
Yeah, it's funny because anytime you see like a top 10 list for GameCube games, Resident Evil 4 is always on it, and I'm like, it was an exclusive for like a few months. Like, calm down.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a great game. I never played the GameCube version. I'm sure it's great, but it is not a GameCube exclusive by any stretch.
It holds up. It's the PS2 version was like ugly as fuck compared to
that was most. I mean, if anything released on all three at the time, the GameCube version was usually the best one.
Yeah, GameCube is crazy powerful.
Yeah,
but yeah, so like you get it just everybody who it released on everything, so everybody's played it. And now, and at that age, it's at that time where like Gen Z was young enough to be playing, like, you think about like a lot of like Gen Z or really young millennials are playing that as their first Resident Evil. And so like, to me, I can see why they're so married to it and they love it, because to me, like, RE1, when I was 11, like, that was my first Resident Evil. My first, like, almost, before that I was playing, Sonic and Mario. I played some Zeldas and shit, but like, I never played like a fucking video game, voice acted and like deep and like puzzles and sprawling and
Jill sandwiches, all that.
Yeah, like that was my first game. So I'm sure there's a lot of people, like really young millennials and Gen Z that are kind of like, that's their first game, and so they fucking love it. And
that's me with
fine.
Resident Evil 2.
And that's fine, because Resident Evil 4 is a great fucking game. And before you open your mouth, let me finish, because you know what else is a fucking great game? Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6.
I can't say anything about Resident Evil 6. I haven't played it yet, but you're gonna be talking to a brick wall with Resi 5, man.
They're Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 are also just as good, if not better, than Resident Evil 4. And like, tell me.
Although it's nice doing this podcast, I think this podcast is dead at this point.
Because here, what didn't you like about Resident Evil 5?
Dude, so my gripes with Resident Evil 5 is my same gripes with Resident Evil 4. It doesn't feel like I'm playing a Resident Evil game. It feels like I'm playing like fucking like half the time it feels like I'm playing fucking Left 4 Dead. Except I still have to shoot them 36 times in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right, and that's fair. Like, I'm not saying your opinion's not valid, Chris. Like, you're fine to hate that game, and I'm fine to love it. I'm just saying, like, it's hard because you played.
I also sucked at that game.
Yeah, I mean, you did. I watched it. I'm sitting here like, every time I'm like, you got to thank Sheva, and you're like, fuck that bitch. She doesn't do shit for me, and I'm like, yeah, because you don't thank her.
Well,
like,
it was funny because I will say it was really hype when I was punching the boulder, and the entire chat was just going, punch it, bro, punch the boulder.
Yeah. that whole fucking that fucking game. So I get into this thing about like why RE4 is the worst, and it's because of like fandom and like critical reception to the games that followed. Because there's like, everybody wants to shit on RE5, and they love shitting on RE6. And like, if you go back and play RE4, RE5 on RE6 next to each other, and if you play RE5 and RE6 the way you should with your AI partner, and you thank them, and you stock them with ammo, and you heal them, and you do combos with them, and they get better and better, and they have this adaptive learning that Capcom, because they're dumb as fuck, don't tell you about in the tutorial. If you play them that way, you notice that they get better. Like, RE6 is infinitely better than RE4. and there's no there's no argument anybody can make to me to tell me that RE6 is not as good as RE4.
Now you're okay. So that's okay. So RE6 being better than RE4. That's totally that's your opinion. That's valid. I'm not. I
Aside from
can't take.
that,
I can't. I haven't played it, so I can't say. I don't have any input on RE6 yet. But I think that the people that love everyone I've talked to is like RE4 is great, and I'm like cool, and they're like RE5 and RE6 is shit, and I play RE5 and I'm like it's the same shit, just
it
in
is.
Africa.
It's exactly because it's fucking nostalgia, man. There's something about the year 2005 that everybody who picked up Resident Evil 4 has some like happy memory about. Like
Right.
I don't know, that's my first year out of high school, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
I have happy memories around Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I'm doing fuck all. I'm working a gas station job. Like I don't have to do shit. I'm out
Yeah.
of school. It's fucking like January 2005. I got my two best friends over at my house.
Yeah.
You know, we're fucking fuck it. Like we're playing video games. So like I have these
Yeah.
great memories around Resident Evil 4 as well. But all of this is like hindsight. This is coming back as an adult in my 30s, ready to talk about how the game actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all three of those games in the action era, Resident Evil 4 is the most primitive. It is the most over the top goofy, like stupid, and it is the most annoying. Because as many times as Sheva might die, at least she's got a fucking gun. Ashley is she just bitches at you the whole time.
Yo, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I did bitch a lot about Sheva, but at least if like Sheva, I never had any issues with Sheva dying, but fucking Ashley was constantly getting into shit, and I'm like, and that was annoying. But again, I played it in VR, and I'll tell you this, playing it in VR is by far like the easiest way you'll ever fucking play that game. That game is a damn near a cakewalk in VR for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, there were parts that were stressful and I died on, but it's because I wasn't. I'm like, this is Resident Evil. Why am I fighting this many fucking people right now?
Yeah, I would say probably like VR, Wii, PC is going to be the ways to play it because like the aiming's so easy.
Right. I have the Wii version. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's fucking it's a light gun game at that point. Like you just point and shoot. It's great. But yeah, it's such a fucking goofy game, and they all are, and it's fine. Like my whole thing is, I'm just like, if you're gonna hate on RE6, you have to hate on RE4, or admit that your love for RE4 is nothing but nostalgia, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like nostalgia is a valid fucking reason to love something in pop culture. Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, come on. Realistically, Star Wars is a shit fucking movie, but we all love it.
Yeah.
And we love it for good reason. But like at the core, like it's the Jesus story. Like I mean, it's been told.
I've only seen like the first Star Wars movie.
Jesus.
And Star Wars was just something I never got into as a kid.
But
I mean, no, that's more homework for me.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Like, I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy. You've never seen Star Wars? Like I don't.
Yeah, no.
I watched. I don't want.
I watched A New Hope like recently, and I enjoyed it actually.
Great. They're great little goofy space operas, but they're not. You know, they're not American History X. Like,
yeah, I know. I was watching it and I was like, this was fun little shut my brain off kind of movie to watch, and I could see. And I enjoyed it, and I want to watch more of it, but there's people that base their entire life around these movies, and I'm like, man, like I guess me personally, when it comes to like movies, there's only like a couple of movies that I consider my all-time favorites that are probably shit movies to other people, but I never was too big of a movie guy. Like I love Pulp Fiction, and I love Scream, and I love SLC Punk.
Yeah. But yeah, that but I understand the love for RE4 being nostalgia or whatever. But I still got to say, you can't say RE4 is great objectively unless you admit that like RE5 and RE6 are better versions of that.
Yeah, I now as far as like I can't really say on better versions of that. I think I enjoyed playing RE4 way more than 5 personally. But I feel like if I played RE4 with like actual controls and not in VR, I'd probably hate it just as much.
Okay, here, how about this? If you play, like you like Doom, so you pick up Doom
I do
Eternal.
like
Like you play Doom Eternal, right?
it. Hmm.
Okay, so imagine you're playing that, and all you really know how to do is like move around, maybe look, and shoot a couple guns. Like
Hmm.
you're gonna hate that game.
Yeah, because that's not Doom.
You gotta learn the combat dance.
Yeah.
Like there's a dance that you play when you get into Doom and you get into like high level gameplay where it's really fun, and you're like speed running. You're taking out like I play Doom Eternal now after
Hmm.
years, and like I take out a Marauder in fucking seconds. Like I'm like fucking swapping weapons, and I'm like ballista, fucking super shotgun, whatever. It's
Yeah.
the same way with Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. You start
Hmm.
learning that combat dance, and it's really fucking fun. So
Yeah.
like when you're playing Resident Evil 5, and it's this is so much better when you have like a non AI partner, but you can do it with the AI as long as you say
Yeah.
as long as you fucking say thank you.
It's a little too late for that. I beat the game.
But like once you get into the dance and you're like running up and you're popping a guy in a knee and you're uppercutting him and you got Sheva doing the second hit and then he falls to the ground and you stomp his head out and then you go to the next guy and you pop him in the head and you get a little knife action. Like you start learning this dance and it's really fucking fun.
Hmm.
And then you get RE6, and they fucking take that shit to a whole other level. It's
Really?
the combat dance in that game, like, and in classic Capcom fashion with Resident Evil, like they don't do a good job in the like tutorial, but once you start learning all the moves, because like you can jump and fall back on your back,
Hmm.
and like fall on the ground on your back, and then like aim up and fucking shoot people and shit. Like it's so much fucking fun. the The biggest criticism for RE6 is it's very bloated. They tried to
Hmm.
do a lot with that game, but like the gameplay and the mechanics, fucking solid. Like,
Yeah.
and it's no more goo. Everyone's like, sorry, you got to fight a T Rex, and it's like, oh really? Like punching a boulder, or I don't know, running from a giant statue of a little person. Like what? I just
Oh yeah, I remember that part. I was like, what kind of fucking like Evangelion shit is happening right now?
it's
Like, is this a
so
mech that
dumb.
somebody's just piloting?
Yeah, like they at least remake grounded that part a little bit, but it's still there.
Okay, I haven't gotten there yet. I
But
think
like,
where am I at in the remake? I think I just beat Mendez
oh, okay,
in the remake.
man, you're
Yeah.
not even to the castle yet.
No, I
You're
just actually
early
got
game.
to the castle.
Okay,
That's where I stopped.
okay, yeah. So that's my whole thing, and that's why I think like when I ask the question, is RE4 the worst RE? Like obviously no, but it's the worst because like there's this dark age of Resident Evil of the action era where it was less scary. There were no roots that they were really holding on to. The stories got super out there, and
Yeah.
it's all because of RE4.
Yeah, and it's
Like
because
one
people
hundred
again,
percent. It's
yeah,
sold. It's sold. It got great reviews. People fucking loved it. They release it on a new console. It sells. Another new console. It sells. They put it on your fucking cell phone. Everybody buys it.
yeah.
Like of
Hmm.
course. Of course they're going to go that direction. They're going to push it further and further.
Yeah.
And it's like Capcom never let that go.
Yeah, no, they and it just I legitimately do not understand how people talk shit about 5 and 6. Like I haven't played 6, so we'll cross that road when I get to it. But I don't see how people can play 5 and be like this is a shit game, but also love 4 because I'm like it's cut from the same cloth.
It
It's
is
it's the same shit
100%.
just in a different setting.
And
Like I
and
don't
RE5 has Sheva, so
I'm not even I mean I like Sheva more than Ashley, I'll be honest.
I love
Um
Sheva. Sheva's one of the greatest side characters that they need to bring her back. I love
I
her.
think I thought she was great, but I was getting pissed off at her a lot of the
You can
times.
get pissed off at her AI, but like she's a great character.
Yeah, she is. I thought she was
and
awesome.
and awesome for like representation.
Yeah,
Because Resident Evil, like they up until like 5, like they didn't have a great track record with like representation.
yeah,
And then they go into like Africa, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is a little racist, maybe." Like, not our place to really have that conversation. But
yeah,
Sheva's like, I've had a lot of like BIPOC friends tell me like she's a great representation for their community in video games. I love her.
That's
I think
great.
she's
That's
great.
great. And she did. I did really enjoy her character a lot. I thought she was awesome. She's definitely way better. I fucking hate Ashley.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just gonna say
I
it.
I will say like I think I got my point across about RE4
Yeah.
2005. So now I want to talk about the remake.
Okay.
So the first thing I'll talk about is Ashley, right? I, she's the escort shit is still fucking annoying,
Oh, it's awful.
but I
I'm
will
yeah.
say as a character, they fixed her. I fucking love her.
Okay.
I love her.
Okay.
She she has this development throughout the
Hmm.
game, and I don't want to like spoil a bunch for you, and I'm gonna try not
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
But like she has this development through the game where at the end of Resident Evil 4 2005, like she's still this like shitty, ungrateful fucking bitch, right? Like let's just say it. Like
Dude, yeah,
that's
she's
how
just
she
like,
is.
help me, and now
Yeah,
give me some
and
dick,
then
and like that's all she was.
yeah, exactly. And in this game, like she kind of starts to like she recognizes when she's helpful and she starts to get some of this like independence and she's like, hey, I've got this, like I can help you, I can, you know.
She's
And
not your
and
average
she's also
damsel in
yeah,
distress.
she's like super grateful for the help that like Leon's giving her, and like she's awesome. I fucking love her in this game. So like I have this whole list of like pros and cons. So like yeah, I have Ashley so much better as a character, pro.
That's good.
Escorting Ashley still sucks, con.
Oh yeah, I have a much harder time escorting her in this game than I did in the remake because she doesn't. You can tell her to stay back, but she doesn't stay in one
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
and that drives me up the fucking wall in this remake. Because I'm like, in the old one, she just stood right where I told her to stand, and now she's like just gonna slowly follow me. Like, fuck off!
Yeah.
You're gonna get taken by somebody.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I barely even like tell her to stay back at this point. I'm just like whatever. I hardly ever click it.
Yeah.
But she's still like even I still think she's better in this game. Like even though I posted, I don't know if you saw the video I posted on the Insert Disc 3 Facebook where it was her. I fucking domed her, dude.
Oh god.
It was so bad. Like I was like trying to shoot this guy in this doorway, and she's walking out, and as soon as I pull the trigger, like right in her fucking forehead, she just falls right back. And
Oh
like,
god.
it's like, oh god. They try to tell you that it's fine, but it's not. It's not
Uh,
fine.
it's not okay. Don't shoot her.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I have this whole list of like pros and cons, and like again, as somebody who's very critical of the Resident Evil 4 original, still love it, but very critical of it. I went into this like I've got to give it the chance, and so now I put it in for the first time Monday, and I'm on my third playthrough. So, which is kind of funny because that doesn't say anything. Some of my least favorite Resident Evils are the ones I've played the most
Really?
because they're grind fests. I'm a sucker for grinding.
Okay.
If a game comes out and says, "Here, you can earn points and unlock these items," I'm like, "Well, fuck, I got to do it all."
Yeah, yeah, I do that sometimes with like sometimes in off stream I'll boot up Resident Evil the 2 remake and just see if I can get see if I can beat my time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now that I have a better layout of everything. But I think I do until I run across a liquor and I'm like, okay, now I got to be slow.
So the first note I have
Uh-huh.
is about the sound design, which
Mhm.
I've noticed it less on more playthroughs, and maybe I'm noticing it less because I'm moving through the game faster.
Mhm.
But my first playthrough, it felt like they would put dialogue like in your ear of the enemies as like a way to kind of like scare you, which
Yeah.
it worked, but like I'm turning around and I'm looking for this enemy that doesn't fucking exist. And it's like
Jeez.
they're still an enemy alive because you hear the music or whatever, but like they're putting it in your ear, and I'm like, it's not, they're not there. And
Yeah,
they're
that's
fucking
I
across
was
the map.
I know
And I'm like,
exactly what you're talking about because I thought that the other day too when I was
I
playing it.
think I haven't noticed it on my replays because I've gotten good at where the enemies are and where they
Mhm.
spawn and like how to like take them out real quick.
Right.
So that was a con. Next note I have is the dubbing is terrible, but most RE Engine is impressive as fuck. But most RE Engine games, the dubbing is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
No
I
matter
don't.
no matter what language you play it in, it's like
Yeah,
their lips barely move. It's all teeth.
yeah. I had that same gripe with the RE2 remake because I started it in Japanese because I usually like to play if it's if because since I play so many Japanese games,
I
if their original language is in Japanese, I'll play it with Japanese voice or
I'm
voice.
usually the same way. Resident Evil's my
Yeah,
only exception.
yeah. Because I started playing it and I was like, why is none of this matching up?
Yeah,
Like, and then and I played in English. I'm like, why is none of this matching
yeah,
up?
it's just the RE engine, because like it's the same thing in like Resident Evil 2 is a little better, still not good. Resident Evil 7's pretty bad, but like
Really?
it's like that. But it takes away like when you're watching a cutscene and it's like, God, this, like, bro, this is, I paid $70 for this next gen game. Like, it should look better.
Yeah.
Which I know seems like a trivial thing to whatever complain about, but like when I'm thinking about, like, when I go into a game and I see 10 out of 10 on the reviews, and then I see a dubbing job like that, I'm like, how the fuck is this a 10 out of 10, right? Perfect game. It's not. When I see IGN say Resident Evil 4 remake 10 out of 10, and I'm like, did you see the dubbing?
That's fair.
9 out of 10 maybe. But 10 out of
Yeah.
perfect, really perfect for where we are today in gaming.
Yeah.
Like when Naughty Dog puts out perfectly dubbed and synced, and you're saying no, that's not how we do this.
And you could be blind and play The Last of Us.
Yeah, fucking anybody.
Like, that's crazy. I can't think of like other games that you
That's
can do this
God of War. Ragnarok has the same level of accessibility. Sony games are getting up there, and like, anyway, yeah.
Because like earlier when you said Grandma can play it, I'm like, well, if we're gonna go with that, then technically Wii Sports would be a 10 out of 10.
I mean, it's up there, but
it's up there. I love Wii Sports. I played bowling with my grandma on Wii Sports.
Wii Sports would be like a 7 or 8 out of 10, to be honest. But it doesn't have the like narrative and stuff that we.
Yeah. That's I was mainly fucking around. But
yeah, no, we're going off. This is actually, I'm gonna write this down because I think this is a great idea for an episode.
No, absolutely.
We should talk about how we each do our grading scale, because I get a lot of stuff where I'm like, this is a great game, 6 out of 10, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about, 6 out of 10? I'm like, you read too much IGN. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What's the meme? Like, IGN, like,
too much water.
9 out of 10. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen so many IGN reviews where they're like, this game is trash. It's like the worst game I've ever played. It's 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. I'm like,
and I'm like, what?
I'm like, just use a 3-star like grading scale. The fuck.
I used to watch IGN reviews all the time, but I stopped. I was like, people are fucking jokes.
I think Dunkey had the best take on reviews when he went after reviewers, and it was like, you can listen to a review if you know the reviewer, or at least you know what they like. So Dunkey was like, I hate JRPGs. If I say JRPG sucks, you know not to listen to me, because it's not my thing. But on the flip side, if I play a JRPG like Persona 5 and say, this is one of the best games I ever played, you know you should probably check it out. And so, like, that's what it comes down to with, like, rating games and reviewing games. IGN puts out a score. You don't know who the fuck wrote that article. Like, you don't know what their tastes are. You don't know why they got assigned to that game. Like,
yeah,
so who the fuck
I'm
cares?
already getting tons of ideas for this episode.
Yeah, right.
I'm like that with Fire Emblem. I would never suggest Fire Emblem to somebody.
Yeah, but it's like one of your favorite franchises of all time.
And it's one of my favorites ever, but I would never recommend it.
Bloodborne for me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Next on my list, Resident Evil 4 remake, One in the Chamber, baby. How fucking cool is that? It's such a little detail, but if you run out of ammo, reload, you can reload again and have one extra bullet.
Oh yeah. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, so basically it's just realistic. You reload, you chamber around. Well, you have room now for one more bullet in your magazine. So now you can reload again. You've got one in the chamber.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was wondering what the numbers were.
Yeah. It just means like you emptied a magazine, reloaded, chambered, reloaded again. I love that. That is an attention to detail I fucking loved. So pro on that. Cool. What did I say? Oh, this is just a neutral take. It's like I said before, typical RE action game. It's only fun when you learn the combat dance.
Yeah.
So once you learn the parries and like when to melee and stuff and like where to shoot the enemies, it's fucking awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
Especially
It's satisfying getting that kick in. I'll admit
oh
that.
yeah, or like so this was my next pro, not a con but a pro. Love the dismemberment. Holy fucking shit, it's so cool.
Yeah.
When you just
That's
like,
been there since the first, or since Resi 2 remake, right?
yeah, but like it's I don't know. There's something about this that like when you parry like a punch
Mhm.
and you cut their fucking arm off.
Okay, that's sick.
It's so cool. And then like
I keep forgetting it has a parry and I never use it.
and it's so forgiving.
Yeah.
Like I think I have that on my list here somewhere, but like the parry is like you can just it's not like Elden Ring. You can just mash L1 and it'll parry.
Yeah.
The dismemberment is fucking rad, and the parry system. Like I heard it gets harder. I don't know. We'll see. I do have a thing here about the harder difficulties. No S plus ranking on New Game Plus. I get it, but fuck you, Capcom.
No S plus ranking?
And it's an achievement.
Okay.
To get an S plus, so to platinum the game, you have to S plus the game, but you can't S plus on New Game Plus. So you have to play. I mean, I guess you could maybe get it. I have to check the achievements again. You could probably get it playing assisted, but like you're playing with base weapons and shit. So you can't like level up your like that's how I platinumed Resident Evil 3 on Nightmare or whatever.
Oh yeah, because and even in the Resi 4 VR, you could they have a New Game Plus, and you all your shit carries.
Yeah, so that's how I've been playing. Remake is just in my third playthrough. I'm carrying that shit over because I'm just grinding.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get through as fast as possible. But I'm kind of mad that they won't let you. I get it. They want to challenge you, but I'm also like, I fucking hate difficulty related achievements. I hate it.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
A big con here for Resident Evil 4 Remake, graphical glitches. I sent this to you in the Facebook chat. The little the fucking police sirens or whatever the fuck's going off.
Oh yeah.
And it drives me crazy, and I will constantly think I'm missing items because of these flashes at the bottom of the screen. Apparently, it has to do with if you turn your field of view all the way up and then turn off motion blur, which naturally I do because I don't play video games like it's 2009. Like I turn motion blur off and I turn my field of view up. And it's fucking annoying, and I haven't noticed a patch for it yet. Hopefully they fucking figure it out. Next up, we talked about Ashley. Ashley's so much better. Escorting her still sucks.
Yeah, I'll let you know more thoughts on it once I get farther in the game. But I mean, because I just got to the castle, so I haven't been with her for very long.
Yeah, that's true. She's lovely. Voice actress, great. Which next on my list, and I guess we got to talk about this now. Ada recast.
Yeah,
I have this on this poor fucking woman.
Oh my god!
Shut her Instagram off because people in the fandom are like sending her death threats and shit. I have her recast on my list. I made this list before this fucking drama happened. I have Ada recast with Asian actress pro. Yeah. I think this is like one of the best things. Like, I think people are just. Everyone's like, but the original actress from Resident Evil 2 Remake was so great. It was a redheaded white lady. And she's amazing. Like, Jolene Anderson, great depiction of Ada. But, like, you casted the whitest white person to play the, like, very Asian character. And then you get Lily Gao, who's, like, a great representation. And then everybody's pissed at her because, like, oh, she's not as, like, seductive towards Leon. And I'm like, you fucking immature imbeciles. Like, why would she be?
I mean, she's not really.
Like, do you guys know what?
I don't have much. Again, I've not.
Yeah,
I'm
you haven't really met her yet, but the way she speaks to Leon, she's very like monotone, kind of
Hmm.
like just doesn't really care, and everyone's like she just doesn't show enough emotion towards Leon and shit. And I'm like, you guys realize like in Resident Evil 2, she's honeypotting him.
Yes,
Like
hundred
she
percent.
does not
That was her
like
whole thing.
her Ada's whole relationship with Leon is I won't let you die, but if you
Mhm.
did, I'm not losing sleep. Like
Yeah.
that's Ada's character. Like she has an attachment to Leon that is I'm not going to sit back and let you get hurt. But if you got hurt, like I'm doing a job. Like I and that's her whole thing in Resident Evil 4. She does not need anybody
Hmm.
that shows up in that game. She is above all of that. She has the upper hand. She gets to be monotone. She gets to show no emotion. She gets to show up, and when Leon's like, "Who are you working for?" she gets to say, "I don't work until," and she can say however the fuck she wants.
Yeah. Exactly.
I loved the new actress. I'm not saying Jolene Anderson wasn't great as Ada. I'm just saying like the new actress does fine. She's great for Asian representation, and
Hmm.
she does not deserve a fucking ounce of what's coming her way. It's like we were talking before we started the show, and all these people on TikTok with the sports fans,
Yeah.
and it's some guy watching a football game and he punches his TV,
Yeah.
and then it's some guy on TikTok stitching it, going, "See, look how toxic sports fans are. This is gross." And I'm like, motherfucker, have you seen the death threats nerds send to actors? Like,
Dude, there and it's so dumb because like she literally is just doing her job.
yeah,
Like it's not like it's literally like if they want to get mad at anyone, they can get mad at Capcom. There's no reason to get mad at her. She's literally just doing her job.
right? Yeah, they either get mad at Capcom or like if you don't think she did a good enough job, like who the fuck cares? Like you sending death threats to the guy who put onions on your burgers when you asked for no onions. Like no,
Yeah.
of course not. Like not everybody does a great job, and if you don't think they did a good job, like whatever.
Yeah.
I think she did a great job.
Yeah.
I love like Ada in this looks and acts 6 years older, which she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's
Ada's one of
great.
my favorite characters in Resident Evil 2. So
Um,
I'm excited to see how she is.
if you don't think she did a good job, yeah, she did exactly what she was directed to do,
Yeah,
and
yeah, they have voice directors, that like why not get mad at them? Why her?
yeah, it's not like it's not like they would have just taken her first lines and been like, yeah, this is good enough. Like she did exactly what the directors wanted. So fucking hats off to Lily Gao. Fuck the haters. She did
They're all
awesome.
incels.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, she's not sexy enough. Oh my god, touch grass.
Touch
Like,
grass.
Jesus Christ.
And you know what?
You
I love sexy Ada, but I am
maidenless
totally cool with her
fucking
not.
yeah. Like she's still sexy as fuck. Like I don't
Dude,
understand
she's
what
great.
these
I
people are
love her.
talking about. Let's see. Iframes so inconsistent. It pisses me off. Because like the when you're in an animation and you have like a certain level of invincibility, right? And it's just like makes no sense in this game. Because I'll be like I'll be going in for a stab on a head of an enemy, and then somebody swings their axe, and I take no damage, right? And then there's other parts in the game where it wants to be fucking like Elden Ring, and there's the Gorodors or the Gorodos, the big blind guys with the claws,
Yeah.
and like I'll be going in same animation, going to stab a dude in the head, and they come up and they're swinging like crazy, and it is hit, 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 dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or they'll come up and they'll do that shit, hit, and I go into the damage animation, hit, 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 dead. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Like, this isn't Elden Ring. Like, you're not a fucking Elden Ring boss. There's no dodge mechanic. There's no, like, once I'm hit, I can't parry. Like, there's no getting good.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. So I'm like, when am I invincible? When am I not? Fucking figure it out.
It's just inconsistency. I fucking hate it.
And Leon is so sluggish. I'm like,
Oh my god, that was my biggest con. I was like, he's so fucking slow.
that is my biggest. There's this game has an identity crisis
Oh,
where,
also inconsistencies with the quick time. There's that too.
yeah,
I've seen personally, but
yeah, some of them can be pretty rough,
like
especially with
fighting
like,
El Gigante was frustrating as fuck the first time.
yeah, the evade quick time. Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about. It's El Gigante didn't give me a lot of trouble. There are some bosses that did.
Hmm.
It's inconsistent.
Yes.
And there's this like identity crisis with the Resident Evil 4 remake where it carries over some of Resident Evil 2 remakes horror. There's like ammo scarcity. Leon doesn't aim super great, you know. There's like wobble. It's not like a shooter. And there's the ammo scarcity is the biggest fucking thing that drives me crazy. And then they want you to play it like it's a fucking action game. Like it's a shooter. And I'm just like, it's hard. Like I can't. Like what the fuck do you want me to do? I spend all the pesetas, all the time upgrading my Matilda. I do the exclusive 60 rounds in a magazine. I'm like, when the fuck do I ever have 60 rounds?
Yeah, that was my biggest bitch about 5. Is that I got tired of having to fight 100 people with no ammo.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that's why like I think that's where Capcom probably thinks these games it's like the first playthrough. They're like, "Oh, it's still hard. It's still a horror because you're going to die." And it's like it's not scary. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Like I'm not scared
cool
about it.
having limited ammo if there's not 1,000 zombies attacking me.
And maybe that's why my memories of RE5 are so great is because I did so many playthroughs and like I did the co-op and the mercenaries and had all these playthroughs and I'm like, yeah, I don't really remember my first playthrough. But it's a weird thing. Resident Evil 4 Remake, my first playthrough, I felt like I had infinite ammo. My second playthrough, I felt fucked. Like I thought I almost thought I had soft locked myself at some points because I was like, I have no ammo and I don't know how to move forward. And like I just got lucky knifing motherfuckers. Like, but your knives can break. So I'm like, you could fucking soft lock yourself.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent. There's an identity crisis. And I wish like Capcom would just get their shit together and just like they did with Resident Evil 6, just lean into it. Just make a fucking action game.
Yeah.
But here's what's going to happen. They did this with Resident Evil 4 Remake. Everybody fucking loves it. It's the talk of the town. It's getting all the good fucking reviews. And what's Capcom going to do? Fuck yeah, lean into that. Then they're going to do a 5 remake and a 6 remake, and it's going to be the same fucking thing. By the time they remake 6, we're going to be playing Gears of War, and everyone's going to go, this fucking sucks. And I'm going to be sitting back here going, fucking history repeats itself.
It's oh god, I hope you're wrong.
I
don't want that, but God, these people, it's just
it's true. It's
I have no nostalgic attachment to any Resident Evil game, so like, and I understand having nostalgia attached to a game, but you have to be able to admit that a lot of your opinion is based purely on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because I love Majora's Mask is my favorite game of all time. Majora's Mask has aged like shit.
Yeah,
but it's my favorite game of all time still to this day. But if somebody said that game looks like shit, I'd be like, hey, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
or it plays like shit, I'll be like, you're right.
The last thing on my list, I want to talk. I have 2 things, but second to last, the fucking island. It sucks, man.
I hated it in the first one.
It's so fucking hard. There's so many fucking enemies. They're all I
hated it in the original, so.
And like, it's the one thing. Like, I'm on a lot of like the Resident Evil subreddit, and like I'm in the. I don't really fuck with Facebook comments on fan pages, but I'd read Resident Evil fan page comments on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's been the one thing. All these fucking dumb Resident Evil 4 stands who are like, don't change anything. Just don't change it. Well, okay, maybe change the island. Like,
yeah, so the island sucks.
They're all like, yeah, change the fucking island up. And they didn't. Like, it's different, but it's, same. Different, but same. Like, it's still hard as fuck.
So now I'm over here sitting here like the whole time I've been playing this remake, I'm like, okay, I wonder if the island is still gonna suck because that was my least favorite part. Because even in VR where it's a lot easier, I literally was like out of breath like every five
Yeah.
minutes on the island, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Everywhere I step, there's like 36 zombies attacking me. What
It's
the fuck
kind
am
of
I
like
supposed to
that,
do?
yeah.
And they all got tasers and shit and like cattle prods. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, this is so stupid. And I'm like, and now that I know that it sucks in the remake, I'm like, damn it, I'm not looking forward to going there.
I mean, it's all right. Like, it's just, yeah, it's not fun. Like, I'm there right now on my third playthrough, and I got the achievement for finding all the treasures
Yeah.
in the castle, and I was like, all
Hmm.
right, fuck it, I'm gonna push through and like do it on my third playthrough. I'm gonna get them all on the island, and I get to the end of the island, and I look back, and I'm like, fuck, I missed one, and I'm just so mad because I'm like, oh, I just did this. I could have just fucking restarted. Yeah. So the island
Yeah.
still sucks. Like it's
It does, and it sucks because like that's like the last part of the game. So
yeah
the whole time I was playing through it, I was just like, at least I'm almost done with this. Fuck, I was so mad at the game at this point. I was like, at least I'm almost done with this game because this part sucks, especially for like the end game portion of it. I'm like, if you're gonna have a part like if it's gonna be the end game portion, why would you make it suck?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so rough. I'm just not a fan of it. It's like the castle has been done wonderfully, remade, beautiful, big, a lot of rip Mike. Says Spike
Chopper
in the
Mike.
chat. Jesus Christ.
Man.
Dude, I have a clip somewhere on my Twitch channel of when I last played RE4 on it, and it's like me freaking out about that part in the original.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the best part of the game. It's so fucking stupid. Leon literally doesn't know who this guy is. Mike! He's so mad about it. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, it's so
Uh,
funny. I remember watching that in VR and I was like, damn, it was nice to meet you, Mike, I guess.
All right, so the last thing I'm going to say about Remake and Resident Evil, because we're hitting on 2 hours now, dude. So,
Yeah, we are.
I know we were like, we're going to do an hour. We might split this up and do multiple parts for the uploads.
Yeah.
But last thing I want to talk about and how fucking important this is definitely a pro. You know this because you played the original, so it's not a spoiler. Fucking Wesker, man.
Wesker?
Yeah, he's in the post credits. You know, like that's who Ada's working for. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and so he shows up in the post credits. Which
In the remake?
yeah, which is fucking
Okay.
huge. Like, it's the first time Wesker's even been mentioned in the remakes. Or
Really?
I mean, he's not even really mentioned in like 7 or 8. So like this is like, oh, we're totally getting at least RE5, RE1, or Code Veronica next. Absolutely.
It would
Like-
make sense within like with people being like playing this for the first time. Because they're gonna be like invested in the story and they're gonna be like, it makes
Yeah.
sense for them to go for 5 next. Which if they remake it in this engine, I might like it a little more. It'll have better controls.
Yeah.
Sure, but
I really
I'm
hope
not looking forward to it.
I hope they figure out a way to make it not like forced co-op. You know,
Yeah.
even with if you're with an AI, like I hope that they just say, no, this is a solo experience. Like we'll have Sheva involved, but like, you know, whatever. So
Basic controls are bad.
that was my big takeaway. I finished it. I was like, this is fucking huge, Wesker. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as goofy as he fucking ends up, like,
Yeah.
and one of the best video game villains of all time. Like,
I think Wesker is a great villain.
iconic as shit. Like,
Yeah.
complete global saturation.
Yeah.
This the dude is like, so I'm like, oh, this is fucking great. Like, I'm psyched about it. So yeah, overall, Resident Evil 4. We probably should have done a rating episode first, so nobody gets mad at me. But I'm gonna give it as like probably like 6.5 out of 10. It's pretty
Okay.
fucking good, which is great for me. I think it's a good game. I love it. I am worried about what it means for the future of the franchise and the remake era. So we'll
We're
see.
gonna get a bunch of action-oriented Resis again.
Yeah, I mean
It
it's
repeats itself, all that fun stuff.
if you like grinding, it's a great grind fest of a game. If not, like it's still a good one and done. You'll get what you want out of it. But I liked it. I thought it was fine. It's still not the best. All right, you want my rankings? You want my
Rankings
all right?
of like all your games.
This is all Resident Evil games, mostly mainline. I'm leaving out
Okay.
games like Operation Raccoon City. Not doing that.
Hmm. Okay.
So I'm gonna go number one, or should I start from the bottom? You think?
I would say start from the bottom so I
All right,
can be surprised by
my
everyone.
least favorite Resident Evil 0.
Okay. Really? Out of all of them?
Yeah, absolutely hated it. Billy's okay. I do love Rebecca. The zapping system, fucking terrible. No
Not even the
boxes.
creator likes Rebecca, which is sad because I liked Rebecca.
Yeah, but she still gets more fucking screen time than Jill. Like it's it, either way. The no box is really what drives me crazy. But the fucking monkeys, the boss fights aren't great. I didn't like the train. That's when they really started leaning heavy into like the fantasy element. Fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Least favorite.
I thought the final boss was fucking stupid too. It was so boring.
It's
Um,
it's just not great. All right, so my next one up, Village, which is probably a
Really?
surprise because I played the fuck out of it. That just so
Okay.
we're fair on all this, I love all these fucking games. Like,
Okay.
but Village, it's the like death knell. It's Resident Evil 4. Like, remember when I'm like, oh, we're repeating ourselves again?
Yeah.
That's what I see with Village, and that's why I fucking hate it. Because
Okay.
it's like I play through it and I'm just like, we're getting to we're it's happening again. It's going action.
Yeah.
So that next Survivor. To be fair, I never had a light gun to play Survivor with. So
I didn't even know Survivor was a light gun game. I thought
Yeah.
it was just like Die Hard 2 for PS1 where you just control the reticle.
no, I mean you can do that, but like you
Oh,
can
okay.
use a light gun in it. I just didn't really care for it. So after that,
I mean, I've never heard a good thing about Survivor, so
it's got a cool story. So if they ever decided to like remake that, I'd be down. But like they
I would
won't.
love
They
to play
won't.
that with pointer controls.
With what controls?
Like with pointer controls, like if it was on a Wii or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that. You know
I
what I mean?
bet. Oh, I'm sure there's some way to do that.
Because I love because it's a what's it called game on rail shooter.
Rail shooter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love rail shooter. I love House of the Dead. I love.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Dead Space Extraction on
yeah,
the Wii?
yeah,
Yeah, I love Dead Space Extraction. That's fucking awesome
yeah.
too. I love on
And
rail shooters.
Umbrella and Darkside Chronicles for Resident Evil.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna
Um,
have to get those. I'm gonna have to get those.
I left those off the list. Those should be on here, but whatever. So after Survivor, RE4, of course, and then RE6 and RE5. So I did put RE5 above RE6. I gotta admit, there's a little nostalgia there for it.
But
Um,
you put people are gonna be so mad that you put those over 4.
Yeah,
But
they
I
should
mean,
be.
go ahead. I liked 4 more than 5. I'll admit that, but I also played 4 in VR. I'm sure maybe one day I'll stream me playing because I have Resident Evil 4 on Switch. So maybe one day I'll stream me playing it on there,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I'll have a better opinion on it because
Or-
obviously the VR version is going to be amazing.
or
you
you know
know?
what, man? Just take like an hour, just on a day like you're not streaming or you got an hour to kill, and just try it out.
Yeah.
Like, just play through a little bit, and you'll see like it's the fucking same. So
Yeah.
after that would be after RE5, Survivor 2 arcade.
Okay.
So they made an arcade cabinet for Survivor 2 because I don't think Survivor 2 ever got an American release.
Okay.
If it did, I cannot find it, and trust me, my Resident Evil collection is huge. I have the PAL or it's either PAL or JP version
Okay.
by Survivor 2, but they made an arcade cab for it where it was like an Uzi on a stick, on a giant fucking stick, and that's how you moved around. And then it was like a
Oh.
light gun. It was cool shit.
Okay.
So there's
sounds
that. So next, Remake 4. It's kind of like little below middle of the list.
The remake of 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
I mean, because it's
interesting
same
to see
thing.
that
Like
bet
it's
higher
not
than
bad.
5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely better than 5. Like it's fun.
Okay.
It's good. But and then I was about to say I think I messed this up, but I didn't. Then Remake 3,
Mhm.
which I did like better, just because Jill, the redesign for her character and the way they gave her more life, like she's fucking awesome.
I love that Jill is not like um I love the fact that because a lot of the times with if it especially back then, a lot of these video game characters were like super sexualized, or like the female ones were. But
Yeah,
Jill's just like a total badass, and I love that about her.
yeah. I'm well. To be fair, the original,
The original, yeah.
like she's in a mini skirt, but like I love that
Oh
they didn't
yeah,
do that. Like
yeah.
they were like, no, she's wearing jeans and a tank top, of course. So after that, Revelations,
Revelations, okay.
and then original RE3, Code Veronica, RE7, fucking amazing.
Uh-huh.
RE1 tied with RE1 Director's Cut. They're the same fucking game.
Okay. Is that the one with the goofy ass music, the
Yes, yeah,
director's
yeah,
cut?
yeah.
Okay.
The basement theme.
Yeah.
Fucking basement theme is. I've told you that story, right?
About how
The guy,
I think
the guy
I
like
think he had
pretended
all
he
the
was
music.
deaf.
Oh no, I could have swore it was something along the lines of all of his stuff was ghost produced, so he tried to just produce it on his own, and that's what happened. But
No,
I could be wrong.
I think it was like he tried he pretended he was deaf, and then like
Okay.
he got this like job like with Capcom or whatever, and he was like, "This is what a deaf producer or a deaf composer would make." I'm gonna play it right now. I don't think you can hear it, but
Oh, dude, I've heard it. It's so funny every time. I'm just picturing it in my head now.
it's so
That's the one that's like.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I love it. I love it. It's so stupid. This is a masterpiece. Definitely not crying.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's funny shit. It's so. I remember I showed it to my friend Jordan because he likes Resident Evil. And I was like, "You ever heard the original or like this remake like theme for the basement?" And he's like, "What?" And I showed it to him, and he was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, and he's a producer too, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it's fucking
But
it's a banger.
I love it. It's hilarious.
There's like not like there's no time signature to it at all. It's just noise.
It's great.
So
It's
crazy.
great. I love it. I'm gonna play it in a DJ set one day.
So yeah, original RE1, and then remake for
Of one?
yeah,
Okay.
and then tied for first would be RE2 and RE2 remake.
Good.
So those are my absolute favorites. I think they're fucking solid, perfect. I have the best memories with them. They're fucking good. So yeah.
Yeah. I
So
guess like
that's-
as far. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's kind of my take on Resident Evil. I could probably say a lot more. I don't want to push this episode too long. I had stuff to say about Mikami and like his work with Evil Within and Ghostwire, and he's just done some fucking incredible shit since he moved on from Resident Evil. But the biggest thing is like he fucking loved Resident Evil 7. He didn't work on it. So to me, it was like this was more his true vision
Yeah.
for the first game. So I'm like, that's why RE7 ranks so high for me. I'm like, that was it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think as far as like for me goes, it's Resident. As far as all the ones I've completed, I'm gonna technically I haven't beaten Code Veronica, but I'm gonna still rank it. Worst that I've played going from the bottom up, RE5, RE0, RE4, Code Veronica. No. After RE4 is the RE3 remake. Um, then it's Code Veronica, and then it's the RE1 remake, and then it's the RE2 remake.
It's a good
for me.
list. That's a good list.
Yeah.
RE5 should be
that-
higher.
RE5 is gonna say unless everyone's like everyone on all my posts is like RE6 is worse, and I'm like I don't know how they could make it worse, or if it's not just gonna be the same fucking thing. Like I could see it maybe being the same thing but worse. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I get
that was my take on Resident Evil. There's one before we end this. There's one thing I wanted to show you. I was gonna bring this up at the top of the show, but
Mhm.
I don't know how to get this. Here, let me find a way to get this so that people can see it. Um, this is so fucked up. This is. I was talking about retro game collecting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the absolute fucking state of retro video game collecting.
Uh-huh.
Now I blocked out the store on this because I don't want them to get hate because I like the store.
Okay.
But like here we go. So this I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look at this fucking copy of Earthbound.
Hold on.
Two.
Hold on a second. Let me just grab my copy real quick. Just so I could show them. I have mine in I have a key in a little case, but this is my copy of Earthbound.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that price and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But this is my copy of Earthbound.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It looks great. It's got a little bit of a tear on the end label, but I'm not too worried about that. I paid $200 for this. Actually, at a retro game store. A long time ago, though. This was a long time ago.
This is our local store, and
Okay.
I like them, and they'll let you haggle. I always feel weird about it, but like, it's just that like, and I try. That's why I blacked it out because I'm like, I don't want them to get hate. I get that they're in the business.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I made a TikTok about this, and I was just like, $270 for this busted ass label. It looks like they've got some fucking GameStop tag on here they couldn't get off. They wrote on it with fucking ballpoint pen, and they want $270, right?
Yeah, that's I mean, being what the market value for Earthbound is right now, I'd have to you know what, let me actually look it up.
No, I did. Here,
you
check
go
this
ahead
out. You ready
Oh,
for
you
this?
did?
I'm about to add another fucking picture here because I look at the tag on that. The date is 4/1. So I was like, oh, I was making this fucking TikTok bitching about it, and I was like, oh, it's an April Fool's, right? They got me, fucking. Oh, I just tricked me because I'm so stupid. Nope. Here, downloads. Where's my fucking shit? There it is. I looked this shit up on fucking eBay. Look at that label. You see that?
Yeah, that one's worse.
Yeah, almost worse. Except there's no fucking ballpoint pen. $284 plus $20 shipping.
That's
Over
more.
$300. Yeah.
Well,
This is
okay.
what they're fucking going for.
Yeah, and I know. But if you, I usually use pricecharting.com for like my valuing my games and stuff like that. And a loose copy of Earthbound on there, it says is $344.25. So being that the label is all fucked up, I feel like it should be a little bit cheaper than that. But I think that the original one, the $269, I honestly don't think that's a bad price.
No, it's a fucking garbage price, dude.
What do you think?
You can okay, we can talk about the fucking market, but let's be real.
That's a whole thing in itself.
Yeah, but let's be real here. $270 for this busted ass fucking. If you're paying $270 for this, you just want to play the game.
Yeah, I honestly
like you
think
just want to
play. Like pay that much
just
for it.
Fucking
You might as well
emulate
pay the extra.
Then just fucking emulate it because no collector is gonna buy this and put it on their shelf and go, look at my copy of Earthbound.
My God.
I paid $270 for ballpoint pen. No, you'd be fucking embarrassed about it. Just emulate it. So to me, when you say, "Oh no, that's about right. That should be worth $270," no, Chris. That copy of Earthbound should be $15 for a motherfucker who just wants to play it on original hardware. Doesn't care about collecting it. Doesn't care how nice it is. Just look at this. Card only, busted ass label, no manual, no box. They just want to play it on their fucking Super Nintendo.
I think that it's okay. So this is just a gaming retro market in a nutshell. But I would not pay if I knew I could get it for like $50 more with a better label. I'd pay $50.
Fuck yeah, of course you would.
But at the same time, it's like for the way it looks, if we're going by retro gaming market as a whole, is about right. but
It's not.
it's
It's
I
yes,
know, but
technically
still,
right. Morally,
technically,
morally,
technically,
absolutely
yes,
fucking evil.
yes.
Because
But
I don't fuck with that shit. I hate it. Like,
wait till you see my copy of Chrono Trigger, bro. You ready for
is
this?
it? Oh, is it all fucked up?
It's not that bad, but honestly, I did buy this in like 2011, and they took like $10 off for this. So I got it for like $50, and that's pretty good considering what it goes for nowadays. But look at the look at the oh my
Oh
god,
god, that's not even that bad.
that label, that tear. Oh, it hurts. But I got it for $50.
Yeah, but you
Like
okay? But
forever
hold
ago.
that up again. Hold that up again.
Okay,
Look,
hold on.
you can see the artwork.
Yeah.
You can see most of the logos for the companies. Like, that's fine. Like, and the artwork's the big thing. You have the ESRB rating. It still looks good. That's fine. Compare that to that Earthbound. That Earthbound is fucking worthless. Like, there's no
Yeah.
artwork on it.
Yeah.
At
No,
that
I feel that. Yeah.
at that point, just take a Sharpie over the whole thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
But the retro gaming market is a shit show.
It's fucking
It's
crazy.
like all these fucking prices for these Pokemon games are fucking ridiculous,
And
and they
how-
should not be as expensive as they are.
How fast this guy. I bought so like one of my like crowning jewels of my Resident Evil collection is my copy of Resident Evil 2 on the game.com, which was like it was like a Nokia, I think, fucking handheld, terrible system. But they made a copy.
The N-Gage.
It wasn't the N-Gage. It was called the game. Oh, it's Tiger handheld.
The
Game.com.
Gamecom. Yeah.
And I have a copy of that. I bought it new sealed for $20 in like 2019.
Mhm.
And I made a TikTok about it. It was like stitching somebody else. It was just a goofy TikTok. I was throwing it down, and somebody's like, "Holy shit! I can't believe you have the game.com version." I was like, "What the fuck you mean, holy shit? Anybody can grab this." I go to look it up. 2023, so 4 years later, $250 fucking dollars.
For a sealed version?
No, not I don't think so. I don't know. I opened mine because I don't. Believe in owning sealed games.
No, that's fair.
But
that's totally fair.
So I opened mine because I was like, I want to see the cart. I want to fucking hold it. Like, whatever.
I have like 3 sealed games, and the only reason I have them sealed is because I have them either digitally or on a better console.
Yeah, I have one sealed game in our house, and it's a copy of Resident Evil Revelations on 3DS. Because I think it's my partner's, and I didn't know she had it, and I bought a copy. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I opened it, but still, point being, I paid $20 for a sealed copy, and now they're going for $250.
Yeah,
and I was like,
pretty good.
I was like, the fuck, like this is crazy.
Yeah, I've gotten some pretty. I got Carmageddon on N64 for like $20 from some lady. Now it's got a fucked label on it, but honestly, without me paying $20 for that game, I'll take it.
Yeah, because you want to play it.
Yeah, because I like it. I like the game. Or I don't like the game. The game's bad. But if I put it in my N64, you don't see the tear when it sits in the actual console.
Whatever.
When you take it out, you do.
There are games that like that if I just wanted to play the game and I came across it, like N64 game, let's say like Pilot Wings, right? Like I own it, but like if I was just like, man, I just want to play some Pilot Wings, I don't really care to own it, like for my collection.
Yeah.
And I came across one for $15 with a tear on it. I'd be like, yeah, $15 for an afternoon of nostalgia, sure.
Yeah, but even then, like a Pilot Wings is a very cheap game. I think is a very cheap.
Yeah, it's probably whatever. You know my point. My point being, any fucked up copy of a fucking game should be no more than $15.
I agree. But that's just the state of the retro collecting market. It's stupid. So. It's terrible. Honestly, I'm gonna say it right now. Fuck WATA. WATA's a shit system.
Fuck grading companies in general. I hate it with comics.
The market up.
I hate it with comics, and a lot of it comes to me from the fact that they seal that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they seal a comic, like, so okay, cool. I got a 9.5 comic that can never be read again.
Yeah,
fuck you, WATA. Fuck you and your grading system. Like, I want that comic. I want to turn the pages. I want to feel it on my fingers. I want to get a fucking paper cut. Like, same with games. Like, you're gonna seal up a game and grade it. How the fuck am I supposed to play it?
Yeah, that's the problem, dude. I could go on a whole tangent. I don't know if you ever heard of this company called DK Oldies.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
yeah.
oh,
Dude,
oh my God.
they get ripped the fuck apart on TikTok. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's I love seeing it as so much. I want them to legit go out of business.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're just absolute con artists.
Yeah,
But that's a story for another episode as well.
yeah,
But
but yeah. I mean,
we can
we'll
do a whole thing on the retro gaming market because I have a lot of shit to say about how horrible it
we
is.
we should just have a fucking thing every episode, end of the episode, be like, hey, you want to know what's new in retro game collecting?
Yeah, fucking it still sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage. I can't get the shit I want.
I know.
All I need Resident Evil Gaiden just to finish my collection. It'll never happen.
God damn! Just the
It'll-
cartridge for that is like $250.
Yeah, and I don't want just the cartridge. Like I need.
I know you want
need
the box
I
and
need a
everything.
complete in box. So I'm like, oh yeah, and I'll find it on eBay. Sometimes it pops up like $400, and I'm like, okay, $400. I'll bid $400, and then before I know it, it's at like $600. I'm like, Jesus fuck no.
It's ridiculous.
So I think like
That's
I think 500 is about like, okay, 300 would be like I'm gonna bid on this. 400 would be like I'm gonna bid on this and hope somebody outbids me. 500 would be like I need to have a serious discussion with my partner and be like, what are we gonna do about this? Because here it is for $500. But like,
so.
it's
What's the
never
most
gonna
that you
happen.
pay for it?
500.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
mean, like, if I had the money and the timing was right and like I wasn't broke or whatever, like yeah, 500 would be like the tops, like, because
Yeah.
you're talking about like diminishing returns, right? Like
Yeah.
when you start paying more for something that's not really worth it to you, like yes, that would be a crowning jewel in my case, but do I really think having that sit in my case paying $600 is it worth $100 more? Like no, it's not. It's worth
Yeah,
it's
I
worth,
mean,
it's worth
and I feel that
500.
too.
It's like when you drink whiskey, like
Yeah.
you pay $50 for a bottle of whiskey and it's good whiskey. Then you pay
Mm-hmm.
$300 and it's like, is it $250 better? You're like, fuck no, it's not. Of course not.
Yeah,
So-
and that's how I feel that because like the most I've ever spent on a single retro game was Fire Emblem on GameCube, and that was like I won it in a bid for 245, and it I think normally goes for like 350.
that's pretty
But
good.
there was a GameStop label. I don't know why the fuck GameStop did this, but they put it on the actual artwork and not the case. So I spent like 20 minutes trying to get it off of the case without tearing the artwork. And I did. I got a couple of tiny tears in there, but I was like, damn, I did pretty damn good
Heat
considering
gun.
this was just on there.
Get a blow dryer or heat gun.
For real? I'll at least know
because
that for next time.
it'll loosen up the adhesive, like. But it's
But I was like, why the fuck would you put that on the artwork?
if it's on the fucking if it's on the sleeve, like that's dangerous game no matter what you
Yeah.
do.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's somebody in chat just steam it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
helps like heat it, steam it. But there's no guarantees. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Dude,
but
GameStop. I can't wait for them to go out of business.
I know you're so
like-
mad about going back to Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, they
The remake.
fucked
They
me out
they
of my-
canceled all of the online orders of the special edition.
Yeah,
of Resi
and,
4.
and a lot of in-store ones too.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they were making because if you ordered online, you just got an email. But
Okay.
they were canceling in-store pre-orders.
Oh, so people were going to pick it up and they're like, "We don't have one for you."
They were making the employees call so that they could fucking try and get them to roll over their pre-order to something else. So, hey, sorry, we know you just dropped $250 on this, but fuck you. Can we put your $250 towards whatever other fucking games coming out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck no. That's why, like, as soon as we saw the collector's edition for Zelda pop up on my Amazon, we were like, fuck you, GameStop, canceling that shit.
I did the same thing.
Or worst case, we'll like keep both, and then
Yeah.
and then sell one of them at cost. Like I don't want to be a scalper and like try and make money.
Yeah,
just be
just
like
make it
at
back,
cost,
yeah.
whatever. I'll put it on eBay
Yeah.
or Facebook for what I paid for it.
Yeah, that shit'll sell immediately. Just find
Yeah.
a homie who wants to buy it. Like that'll probably be easier.
Yeah, whatever.
But-
Just like
Yeah, I did the same shit because if I lost out on my Zelda collections, I'd be so pissed.
yeah,
I was worried that was gonna happen with my Fire Emblem Engage, but it that was before the shit happened with Resident Evil. Because I'm like, GameStop has had such a bad rep. I feel like I'm gonna go in there and they're gonna accidentally give my copy away.
Well, hold up. Somebody in the chat says they're remastering Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Wow.
So,
That's going to be the
honestly,
one.
is that like the racing game that was on the Wii U? Or am I
No.
thinking? No, that's
No.
Hello Kitty Cruisers.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure is from the episode of South Park when they're playing WoW and they're like, Butters, you don't play WoW, and he's like, Nah, I play Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
That's great.
All right.
It.
All right,
we went on too many tangents.
Yeah,
this was great.
It's 2.5 hours. We're probably gonna I'll edit this up and split it up over a couple of weeks this month. So if you missed some of it, we'll have it uploaded definitely on YouTube tomorrow. I got to figure out how YouTube and SoundCloud tomorrow, and then I'll figure out the RSS shit so we can get this up on Apple and Spotify.
If you need me to pitch in for anything, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm Nick, aka Killscreen. You can follow me at KillscreenDJ on all socials.
I'm C Vince, Chris. You can follow me at C Vince G on everything.
Yeah, and then Trace usually would be here, but as you can see, he's a flake.
He's multiple flakes.
I think his socials are a little different. Anyway, he's at 9Lyoko. Definitely on Twitter. I think it's at 9Lyoko _ on Instagram. I don't know. But yeah, that's us. I have not made a going away splash yet for this, so I'm just gonna end it.